Hey, welcome back to the Slay the Spire 2 at home video series where we try to make a homemade version of Slay the Spire 2, like just for fun. So today we'll try to implement the Byrdonis Nest event, yeah, and all the things that go with it. So this will be kind of a longer episode maybe, but nothing we can do about that, right? So let's not talk too much, just, get right into it. So first of all, we've got a little housekeeping to do. So in our previous episode with the capsules, the large capsule and small capsule, we mistakenly said that Kunai and Shuriken did not make it into Slay the Spire 2, but that was actually not correct. We were unintentionally spreading misinformation there, right? So they actually did make it into Slay the Spire 2. They're just rare now and not uncommon, right? So I don't know why I thought they got removed, but they didn't. So let's fix that real quick. So let's just go into our relics, duplicate the Kunai and Shuriken relics, right? And then put them in Slay the Spire 2 relic pool. So let's start with that real quick. Just take care of that before we forget. So this will be Slay the Spire 2 Kunai, right? Yeah, and then we'll move that into the Slay the Spire 2 folder, right? So we'll put that, and it'll be a rare in Slay the Spire 2, right? So let's make sure we move it into the appropriate folder for its new rarity in Slay the Spire 2, right? So we'll also fix the rarity in the inspector, so it's now a rare card, and we'll do the same thing for Shuriken real quick. So let's duplicate that. This will be Slay the Spire 2 Shuriken, right? So we'll move that into the Slay the Spire 2 rare folder also, and then this will also be a rare, right? So we fix that. And then let's go to our Slay the Spire 2 relic pool and then add those relics, which, turned out they did make it into Slay the Spire 2. You just don't see them as often because they're rare, right? So, yeah. Let's fix that. Move that here. So Kunai, let's see, let's put it in the rare section, right? So that'll be... So K is before M, right? JKLM, yeah. So we'll put that Kunai and then Shuriken. And then, okay, Shuriken starts with an S, so we'll put that right before Stone Calendar. Yeah, okay, so now we've got that. Okay, so now let's get on to the main, thing with our episode, right? The Byrdonis Nest. So why don't we do that? So first of all, let's make the Byrdonis Egg card, right? So the first thing we'll do is we'll go into our card, right? We add a new type quest. And so, this is one thing that you got to be careful of when working with Godot. So when you're adding new enum definitions, like in Godot, if you have resources that actually use these enums, right? Let's say I have, let's just, as an example, right? So if I go into a card where I have where I'm using a resource for that, right? So let's go here. I'll show you real quick. So if I go into curses, and we'll say here's our clumsy card, right? And it's a curse card, right? So when we're adding a new card type, right? Quest, we want to add that at the end of the enum definition, not like in the middle somewhere. Like, what you can add it in the middle somewhere, but you got to be aware of what that does, right? So in Godot resource files, they save the enum, the values as the integer, the underlying integer that's associated, not the actual string that goes with the enum, right? So let's say if I were to add quest right here between status and curse, right? So in all my resource files that were curses, they would all get changed to quest, right? Because now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now curse is saved as 4, right? If I were to add quest here, that would be the new 4, right? So that's something you got to be aware of. I learned that the hard way, but So when we're adding new enum definitions, if we don't want to deal with that, right, we just add it to the end here. So yeah, that'll be there, right? So just a heads up, right, if you're running into a similar situation. Okay, so now we also want to go into our card display, right? So because in Slay the Spire 2, the quests have this orange background, right? And then, so basically I downloaded the images for Byrdonis Egg and Byrd Swoop, right, from the untapped.gg. I just did some basic photo, image editing to cut out the backgrounds, right? And then, so we'll have the green thing for the event. Because in original Slay the Spire, the event cards, they did not have like this green thing for their card backgrounds, right? They had the it was just the same background as common, the gray one, right? So, oh yeah, let me put it out of scope. So we don't care about different shapes, like shapes for different card type, backgrounds, right? So attack, skill, power. But yeah, so we will be doing the thing with the green, right? So in Slay the Spire 2, our little thing. So let's go into our card display, right? So for our card.type.quest, right? So we need to add it to use the new orange background, right? So we'll say here, and then this will be so not this, right? So where do we put our background? So this will be art. Where did I put it? I did copy it to the project folder. I just don't remember where I put it. So if I go into assets, art, let's see. Where, oh, colorless. Okay, I put it in colorless STS2. Okay, yeah. So colorless, art, colorless, right? STS2, colorless quest background. Yeah, so we'll do that. So that'll have the orange background. And then if we go into our colorless section here, we will not make the event use the same, comment background, right? So we need to change that. And then that'll be the new green, thing that we have going on here, right? So where should we put that? Should we put that before common, or should we put it after rare? How is it defined here in card.rarity? So okay, event's the last one, so let's just put that at the end there, right? Well, it doesn't really matter that much, but just for consistency, I guess. So, oh wait, no, it's not in the ironclad section. It's hold on. It's the colorless section, right? So card.rarity.event, right? And then so we'll say the texture is the in the Slay the Spire 2 folder, and then it'll be the colorless, not the quest background, but the event background, right? Uh-oh, so that didn't really work there. Hold on, let me fix this string. So we'll do that. Okay, so we got that, right? So now let's actually make the Byrdonis Egg card, right? So we just want this sort of thing. So we'll go into our our res folder, but so let's see, where should we put this? I guess we'll put it in the colorless folder here in Slay the Spire 2, right? So we'll just make a new folder called Quest. Wait, is Quest a separate? Yeah, let's say it is, right? It's a separate background. I mean, we can always move things around later, right? So we'll just create it, yeah. So this will be a new, resource. It'll be a card, right? And then we'll call this Byrdonis Egg .tres, right? So we'll do that. We go here. So we want to make sure we put okay, so we'll give it a name for Byrdonis Egg, right? That way the card name can be displayed correctly. So Byrdonis Egg. So that'll be the ID. So we'll need this ID. So when we're in the rest site, we're checking whether we have the card in our deck or not. Yeah, we'll do that. So the type is a quest. The rarity, well, I guess it's an event, right? Yeah. Oh, hold on. I forgot to actually change the switch statement here. This is card.type.quest, right? Yeah, we don't want to get the wrong background there. So, okay, this target doesn't matter because it's unplayable, right? So we'll cost 0. Okay, so let's just turn off the playable, right? We don't care about this stuff. Okay, so then the icon, oh yeah, so we need to go into the image, right? So basically I cut out the images here, so it's it's just the egg, right? So the image will be the quest, the Byrdonis Egg, right? And then the text. So you can't upgrade the thing, right? So we only need to worry about this text here for the tooltip, right? So we'll say unplayable can be hatched at a rest site, and then the unplayable is on a separate line, right? So we'll say unplayable and can be hatched at a equals gold rest site. Okay, like so. Rest site is capitalized and there's a period at the end. Okay, let's put the period there. Sure. So we'll have that, right? And then it's just a card. Yeah, so we have the Byrdonis Egg, right? And we don't need to add this to any arrays or anything because it's not a card that you can get from card rewards. It's just the event card, right? But now we have Byrdonis Egg.tres. Okay, so now what do we do next? So let's go down our list, right? So we did prepare to keep this video going. Okay, so we upgraded the card display. Okay, so now we need to make the Byrdonis Nest event room, right? So we'll just copy the Jungle Maze Adventure basically for the basic, UI, right? So it's another event room. So let's go in here. Let's go into our event room STS2, right? So we'll just so we'll make a new folder, right? Because this is a Byrdonis Nest, right? So let's go here, and then we'll create a new scene. So this will be this will extend from event room, right? So we could do that, and then the theme name will be Byrdonis Nest. Yeah. Uh, is that yeah? That's a good enough name, right? Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so we call it Byrdonis Nest, right? So we'll just take the Jungle Maze adventure and copy some stuff, right? So we'll go in here, go into our scene, right? So if we go back to our Byrdonis Nest, we just copy that stuff in here. We'll change the title of the event. Hold on, let me zoom out a bit so we can see that better. Okay, so we go here, we change the title to be Byrdonis Nest, right? Yeah, so we do that, and then so we need to go into, oh yeah, I guess these buttons will be called different names, right, just for the heck. So it'll be called Eat the Egg and Take the Egg, right? So, okay, so we'll just call it like Eat Egg and Take Egg, right? Okay, and then don't worry about this. This is just design time. We're not gonna make some weird tool script stuff, so we to slow things down just so we can see it in the designer. But we'll go into okay. So we need to make a script for this, right? So this will be byrdonisnest.gd. We'll just copy the basic framework from the Jungle Maze adventure, right? So this will be class name Byrdonis Nest, right? Okay, and then we go to Jungle Maze adventure, right? Yeah, so we'll just copy the basic structure, right? So let's just copy all this, right, for now, and then we'll just change it in the script, like kind of go there, right? So okay, so this will be it'll be the eat egg button, right? And then we'll have the take egg button, right? And then so hold on, let me open the scene here. So it's the eat egg and take egg, right? So eat egg, take egg. Those are the unique names for those buttons. We don't need this stuff, right? This is just Jungle Maze Adventure specific stuff. So let's get rid of that. We go here, right? Yeah, so let's just set up our buttons, right? And then we go here. Hold on, what's this complaining about? Oh, yeah, because the actual string, like we don't have a variable for the amount of gold you gain for Jungle Maze Adventure, right? So let's go here. So let's just put this all on one screen here. Okay, so let's, yeah, why don't we actually take care of the button text while we're at it, just so we're not having this editor yell at us the whole time, right? So, okay, what is the actual, what is this complaining about? Oh, we've got an extra quote. Okay, so the text on the button is eat the egg, gain 7 max HP, right? So eat the egg, gain 7 color max HP, and then so the HP is capitalized as a period, right? Okay, that should take care of that, right? And then take the egg is add Byrdonis Egg to your deck. So take the egg, and this would be add, and then Byrdonis Egg is in gold, right? Byrdonis Egg, and then deck is in gold and capitalized, yeah. To your color equals gold deck, and then period, right? I don't like how the editor shows these, long streams. Maybe I should split it up on the multiple lines, but yeah, should I do that? Like, just put it like this? Is that? I mean, would that make things easier, like in the future, if I just? I mean, do we want to put some tabs here too? I mean, would this get a lot of tabs in our string though, or spaces? Let's just leave it there just in case. I don't know. Maybe in the future I'll look into that, like between episodes. We don't want to mess things up right now while we're recording. Okay, so right now deck needs a K, not an L at the end, right? So eat the egg, gain 7 max HP, right? Or take the egg and add Byrdonis Egg, right? So gotta make sure we're not making typos. Okay, so we'll do that, and then the functions will be called different names, right? So we eat egg, and then this will be take egg, right? So, and then so let's just change this stuff up real quick, right? So we're not adding gold, right? So we're not doing this well. So we're not taking damage. We're gaining max health if we're plus equals 7, right? So that's the 7 HP we get from eating the egg, and then from taking the egg, we'll have to add the Byrdonis Egg to our deck, right? And then so let's just fix up the stubs real quick for when we're disabling buttons and enabling UI and stuff like that, right? So that way when we're opening up our deck or the map, we're not messing stuff up. Okay, so let's do that. So now we need a path like to the Byrdonis Egg that we're adding to our deck, right? So it's like, how do we do this? Byrdonis Egg card equals preload res. Where did we put that thing again? So we put it in the colorless section. Oh, no, here, no, let me close this. Put player characters, colorless. Yeah, okay, so player characters, right? Colorless. Hold on. Colorless, STS2, yeah, Byrdonis Egg, right? So that's a Byrdonis Egg. Okay, so we got that Byrdonis Egg there. Just the path, right? Well, should we put that before or after on ready variables? How do we do that for the other things? Hold on. Let me just make sure we're being consistent. Oh, this is another thing that's maybe I shouldn't. So here we have it before export variables. I mean, this is just a bunch of const stuff, right? Hold on. Yeah, okay, so usually we have it before on ready variables. I guess just because I don't know what the standard is, right? But okay, let's just make sure that we're being consistent. Okay, so we'll do that. So we have it like that. Okay, so Byrdonis Egg, right? Okay, so when we take the egg, we need to add the Byrdonis Egg to our deck, right? So we do player character stats dot deck dot add card, and then Byrdonis Egg dot duplicate, and then I mean, we might as well make a deep copy. I don't think that's really necessary, but sure. Okay. Byrdonis is... Why do I keep typing a D instead of S? My hand is slipping a little bit. Okay, so we do that, right? So we're adding the Byrdonis Egg to our deck. And then, so yeah, we do that, right? So now we need to add this to our event pool so we actually have a chance of running into this event when we're playing the game, right? So let's do that. Yeah, so we go into our scenes event room. So we'll make the we make the TRES file just for the event data, just like we do for the rest of the stuff, right? So this will be event data, event room data rather. Yeah, so this will be Byrdonis Nest .TRES, right? So, and then the event ID can be Byrdonis Nest. It's an act event. And the event is the Byrdonis Nest that we just created. It can appear in Act 1, right? We don't have a separate overgrowth and underdocs yet because we barely even have anything in overgrowth, right? But okay, so we do that. We add that to our event pool. So let's go to our event pool. Let's add that, right? So now we should have like a 1 in 3 chance when we get a common event of running into the Byrdonis Nest, right? Okay, so let's do that. Yeah, so... Yeah, we're in alphabetical order. We're good there. So, okay, we've added the Byrdonis Nest to our event room. Okay, so let's add the Byrd Swoop card, right? So that way when we go to our rest site, we'll actually have a way to do that. So, okay, so we'll make the card, right? So let's just do the same thing we did for the Byrdonis Egg, basically, and add the Byrd Swoop. So colorless, Slay the Spire 2. Then this will be an event card, right? So we'll make a new event folder. And then this will be a new, this will be a new card. Well, I guess we can make it a new basic damage card, right? Yeah, we just use the thing. So this will be Byrd Swoop .TRES. Okay, so we'll make that. So here, the base damage is 14. The upgraded damage is 18, right? You can see that, that's how it is on untap.gg. I'm assuming that's correct, right? It's been a while since I've actually taken the Byrd Swoop because usually you're better off just eating the egg, right? I mean... But, for the sake of correctness, we do want to make sure that the Byrd Swoop is doing what it's supposed to be doing if we do want to take that. So Byrd Swoop, okay. Then the ID can be Byrd Swoop. Okay, so we'll type as an attack. It's an event card, right? And then the target is single enemy. Cost is 0. Upgraded cost is 0. Exhaust, no. Playable, yes. Eternal, okay. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all there is to a Byrd Swoop, right? It's just a basic damage card. Okay, so we do need. Oh, the tooltip. We do need to. Yeah, because We don't actually have, okay, special code for that. Okay, so let's just put that in there for every card. So let's just copy it from, I don't know, Strike or something, right? This is, hold on. What do we do for Strike? Starter, Strike. Okay, so just, okay, we just do this sort of thing. All right, so let's go to Byrd Swoop and do the same thing, right? Oops. Open up the Byrd Swoop. And then the upgrade preview text, well, we need to put that in there because you can upgrade that, and then it'll do 18 damage, right? Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, so that's our Byrd Swoop card, right? Okay, so we've got birdswoop.tres now. So now, okay, so now we need to. Okay, so when you hatch the egg, you also get a pet, right? And then in Slay the Spire 2, when you get a pet, like in the combat screen, right, it shows a little graphic, which is sort of relevant because, you know, like there are things in the game where if you already have a pet, like you can't get offered another pet, like Pale's Legion, for example, right? So we do want to put that visual indicator there, right? So when we're getting a pet, we need to have some way of properly displaying it. So let's go to our player character stats, right? And then let's just add, you know, a pet thing there, right? So so this can just be a texture for now, you know, and then we just, yeah, in the future, if there's something else we need that, you know, texture doesn't work well, we can refactor it later. But for now, it's just showing the image, right? So we're doing that. Okay, so then in the player scene, we need to go into, and then actually show the pet when there is a pet, right? So let's open up the player scene. We go into player. Okay, so here. So right now we're already showing the, you know, the picture of the old Slay the Spire 1 Ironclad, right? So let's just copy that and just put a spot for the pet, right? So, okay, so let's just put that right in front of the player stat, right? Because in Slay the Spire 2, that is, it does appear to be in front, not in back, right? So, and then in Godot, you know, like that thing's lower or by default in front unless you specifically set them otherwise, right? So, okay, so let's move that in some sort of appropriate position. So right now, how do we want to do this? So right now, our Ironclad, what are we doing for the... What are we doing for the... Oh, so, okay, it's a sprite, so we're... Oh, this is going to be a problem because our pet image is pretty big, right? So maybe we need... Well, for now, we can just hard code it to be like, you know, some sort of... Yeah, okay, so let's just see what it looks in design time for now, right? So we'll go into our art, we'll go into our pets. Okay, so we'll have our Byrdpip. Put it like that. Oh, see, this is too big, right? So for now, I don't know. For now, we'll just put a hack, right? Or I mean, we could also resize the image, but you know, for now, who cares? Let's just, we've only got one pet, right? So let's just scale it down for now. Okay, so let's just kind of do this sort of thing. No, that's still too big, right? So let's kind of make it smaller. Wait, now, are we a little too small now? So it's supposed to be go up to the waist a bit, right? So yeah, that's a little too small. So let's say 0.3. 0.3, yeah. Okay, that's more like it, right? So let's just move it over a bit, right? So let's kind of... No, that's too far down. Hold on. A little bit higher. Yeah, something like that. And then move it over like so, right? How do we want this? So basically the covering up the leg a bit, right? And then close enough, right? We don't really care that much. Okay, so this is not visible by default. Okay, so we'll do this sort of thing, right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll do that, and then so in our player script, right? So okay, so what happens is like when we instantiate the scene, we need to take the pet from the player if there is one, right? So the texture could be null because we might not have a pet, right? But so when we update the player, if it's not null, right? We do need to make the, yeah, okay. So if stats.pet, right, then we'll just say pet. Oh, so we need to link to that, I guess. Okay, so let's do that too. So we'll say var pet equals pet, right? So then if there is a pet that we need to show, right, we just say pet.texture equals stats.pet, right? And then pet.show, because but by default we have it not visible, so we do need to turn that on. Okay, so that'll show the pet when we get the pet, right? Like, you know, when you get the relic and then get the Byrd Swoop, right? And we're not going to worry about showing a fancy animation for the pet, like we're just using a still image, right? Like, so when you play Byrd Swoop in real Slay the Spire 2, it, you know, it plays a fancy animation, and it's not always the same image, right? It has a different hairstyle sometimes, you know, but we're not worried about that. We'll just use this, you know, static image, because this is just our little homemade fun project, right? And we're not, you know, that serious about this. We're just, you know, doing this for fun. So okay, and then we're also not an artist. We're just downloading images off the internet, right? Yeah. Okay, so now we need to make the relic, right? So when you go to the rest site and then you hatch the egg, you'll get, you know, the Byrdpip relic, right? And it kind of looks like this for the relic icon, right? And then when you hover over it, you know, this is a tooltip to show. And we're not going to worry about displaying this card for now. Oh, I forgot to actually display the stupid Byrdonis egg when you know. Let's take care of that first. Okay, so let's go back to our Byrdonis Nest scene, right? So we do want to open that up. Hold on. Yeah, that's something we sort of forgot. Okay, so let's, and then we go into, or we'll just copy the kind of the way it's done for the Niao scene for the greed curse card, right? So we'll do that. We'll go into here. We go into Slay the Spire Niao. Okay, so right now our things are a little too far apart. Let's close some of these just to get them closer together. Okay, so now they're right next to each other, right? So we'll copy the card display right here. Let's actually show it. Okay, so this needs to not be there, right? So we'll move it like to a spot where, you know, because basically it's a little bit, you know, to the left of the take the egg button, right? So let's kind of move it a bit, kind of like here, something like that. Is this the right position? I mean, these don't have any particular position, right? We're just putting it in the VBox container. This one's like, yeah. Well, this is at position 182. Yeah, and this is, okay, so as long as it kind of low, we don't really, it doesn't have to be exact, right? This is fine. Okay, so we'll do this. The card will actually be the Byrdonis Nest egg, right? So let's take care of that. So Byrdonis egg, right? And then, okay, so we'll go into the, so when we have to add the hover things, I mean the unpressed event, just like we do in Slay the Spire 2 Niao for the Cursed Pearl thing, right? So okay. So how about, how do we do this? So for the Cursed Pearl, yeah, so we did some sort of thing where we did the mouse enter, right? Yeah. Okay, so we had this sort of thing going. So in the Byrdonis Nest thing, right? So we also do that sort of thing. Okay, so this will be for the take egg button, right? .connect show Byrdonis egg display, right? And then hide Byrdonis egg display. Okay, and then so this can be off by default, and then so we'll copy that sort of stuff from the Niao, right? So we go into our Byrdonis Nest, and then yeah, let's just put these functions down here. Okay, so we also need to have something for the variable. Sure, why not? Yeah, again, that's okay. We have already got that as a unique name, right? So let's copy that. Okay, so do that. And then, so we don't need to set it, because unlike the Niao, the card display is always the same. Because in Niao, it can be different cards, right? It could be Greed, it could be Niao's Torment, depending on what kind of button you're hovering. But in the Byrdonis Nest event, it's always going to be the Byrdonis Egg. So we don't need to worry about that. We just need to show or hide the thing, right? Yeah. Okay, so we have that going. Okay. So now when we hover over the... Uh-oh, what's going on here? Oh yeah, we need to actually, okay. It's not greed. Yeah. Okay, so it's the function names. All right, so when we hover over the buttons, right, or when we mouse over the buttons rather in mouse exit, we do show the, the little Byrdonis egg thing that, at runtime it'll be Byrdonis egg, right? Because right now we're just in design time, but yeah. Okay, so we do that. So at least I think it works that way. Hopefully we don't have to actually call the set function. Yeah, I think the set function should be automatically called, right, when we set it in the inspector. Well, we'll test that later. Okay, so back to where we were going. We need to make the Byrdpip relic now, right? Pip. I think the P is not actually capitalized here. Okay, so all right. So when we, yeah, let's actually just make the relic that we'll get when we click the rest side event. So we go to relics, right? We go to Slay the Spire 2. We'll make a new folder. This will be an event. No, is it an event? Yeah, it can be event, right? Yeah. Because it is associated with an event, right? Okay, so we'll just, yeah, make a new, oh, okay, script. So this will be Byrdpip relic script, right? Because Byrdpip can be relic or the pet, so I'll put the underscore relic at the end just because, just to kind of distinguish between the two, disambiguate, if in case we need that, right? But yeah. So we'll have that here. We'll make the Byrdpip relic kind of like this, right? So the class name Byrdpip relic, yeah, like that. Okay, so then we'll have something that happens when you get the relic, right? Just like when, so sort of like a Niao relic, right? It happens like when you get the relic, right? It calls the initialization function and then it'll do something, right? So why don't we just copy that from one of these Niao relics, right? So basically the initialize relic function will just do some stuff, right? So in the case of the Byrdpip relic, so we need to set the pet texture, right? And then we need to get the card, right? So the card will be the Byrd Swoop card. So sort of like how we had the path to the Byrdonis Egg card in the Byrdonis Nest event, we'll have the path to the, the Byrd Swoop card in the Byrdpip relic. Yeah, so we'll do that. So let's do that. So this will be Byrd Swoop, right? So we have the Byrd Swoop card. This will be colorless, Slay the Spire 2. So this is not a quest, it'll be event, right? Hold on, did I not? Maybe that's not the path, is that? Colorless, Slay the Spire 2, event, Byrd Swoop. Yeah, it's right there, right? Why is this not auto-completing? Player characters. Something's wrong with my autocomplete. Event, well. That's weird. Usually it autocompletes, right? Like why wasn't it doing it that time? Okay, well, whatever. It's there, right? So, and then so when we get the Byrdpip relic, we're getting the Byrd Swoop card, right? Okay, so no, we don't need this now thing there. Yeah, if I go back here, it does auto. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I'm not sure what makes it work and doesn't work. Okay, and we also need to. So do we need to put this texture here? Yeah, let's do that. So Byrd pip pet texture equals preload, and then this will be the path to that image that we were talking about, right? Yeah, Byrdpip pet.png. Okay. Dot pet equal. Okay, so we do that, right? So it won't be null, it'll be the image there. So yeah, we do that. So that should take care of that, right? So now we need to actually go. So we have the relic. Oh no, we still need to make the relic resource file. Okay, so that way yeah. So not just a script, we need to do that. Okay, so let's go into here. We go into Byrdpip relic, right? We make the resource. This will be the Byrdpip relic. Byrdpip relic.tres. Okay, so we do need to give it the relic name is just Byrdpip, right? ID can be Byrdpip relic, something like that. And then the type, well, this doesn't do anything. It's just, yeah. All rarity event icon. Okay, so we need to put the relic icon there. So let's go into here. Yeah, let's get a relic icon. And then for our relic tooltips, I think the way we have it is that we need to, the title and the actual description have to be on separate lines, right? Just due to the, is that how we had it? Let me check. So if I go into, let's say, let me go to one of the Niao relics just to check. Yeah, we do have it that way because we had different font stuff for the title and then, okay. At least that's why I think we had it. All right, so we do need to say the, for the Byrdpip relic, it's Byrdpip. And then this is why I said the P wasn't capitalized, right? Because I think in the game when you hover, yeah, the P isn't capitalized here or here, right? And then the text is just, yeah, this, right? So upon pickup, you gain the car. Okay, so here. So like that. Okay, so that's now we have the Byrdpip relic, right? And then we can easily instantiate the thing. So now we need to go to our rest site, right? So in our rest site, right now we just have like we just kind of threw together, you know, the scene from, and it was pretty basic, right? So so we do need to change it. So in Slay the Spire 2, apparently you can have at least 3 columns, like right here, right? And then, you know, right now we just, you know, our rest site options like the button, there's way too much space that's, you know, kind of not in the actual button, right? So let's polish this a little bit. So let's see, let's make it, so we need to make the buttons a little bit smaller. And then let's take care of the aspect ratio, I guess, and then we'll, why is this size not adjusting? Hold on. Oh, is that, okay, so let's do this, right? And then the button, how big is the button supposed to? So the, okay, so right now the aspect ratio for the images that we have is not the same for all of them because we haven't really, you know, standardized them both. So let's say 390 divided by, I don't know, 1.58 or something. Because right, I think for the image, so we've got 1.538, 1.573. Okay. So yeah, okay, so let's just say it's like 250 then. Okay, so this will be 250. Yeah, that. Okay, so something like that, right? So it's 390 by 250 for our button, and then okay, so we'll have this sort of thing. And then this needs to not be 590, right? So we'll make that a little bit smaller. We'll go into our rest site. So we need to make the grid 3 columns now, right? So like that. Okay, that's a little more like it, right? They're not spaced out enough though, right? We probably should put a little more space between them. Is that, how's this? Is that enough space? Maybe we want more space. Like that. Wow, there's a lot more space in real Slay the Spire, right? Hold on. Good enough for now, right? I mean, the specifics, we don't care that much for now. Okay. So okay, so we need to center this more. So this is like, okay, what's 1920 divided by 1920 by 1080 is our target resolution here, right? So let's subtract this, right? Divided by 2, move it over to 275, I guess. In terms of where this is, right? Yeah. So this can go to 275. Right. So we kind of more in the center of the screen, right? To have this sort of thing going. Okay, so let's. I mean, we can make these things not visible by default. Just okay. So let's okay. We go into here. We'll make a hatch egg option, right? And that's also not visible by default. This will be hatch. And then this. Oh yeah. So we need to. Yeah, this should be fine, right? Well, what happens if we don't have 3 buttons, though? Is this going to look weird because we don't have them centered? Uh, Or does it automatically adjust? Wait, what does shrink center do? Hold on. Tells the container to center the node in the available space. Size fill tells the paint expand the banner. No, we don't want to shrink the thing, right? We just want to make the nodes. So we probably want a center container inside here, right? Is that? Well, can you put a center container like that in a grid container? I'm not sure. Well, is it really that bad to not have them centered? Like, yeah. For now, okay, we don't care if they're not centered, right? Let's just, yeah. We can worry about that later. Okay, so let's just do, okay, so this will be the hatch option, right? So it'll be called hatch. Yeah. And then the hatch option will have the button. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. So in rest side option, textures is like. How did I configure these? It's been a while since I worked on that. Okay, well, maybe we just do that then, or. Okay, so. I mean, do I have it set up where it just automatically sets the texture to be each of the. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, so that's how I did it. Okay, so let's. Yeah, it's been too long. Okay, so let's go into the hatch option and we'll put the picture of the button, right? So that's this thing, or no, this thing that we made, we just copied it from the screenshot out of here, right? So if we go into rest site, so yeah, this will be this. The label string will be hatch, right? Okay, so something like that. Oh, so we already have a center container in our rest site option, right? But that doesn't center it within the grid container here, though, right? I mean, is there a way we can just easily center if we don't have... Well, let me just Google that real quick. Godot grid container center if you don't have enough elements. Hold on, what's the name of this called? Hold on. If you have fewer elements than columns, right? Wrap the grid container in the center container and set the child elements to shrink center. To center elements wrap the grid container in a center container and set the child elements size flags to shrink center. Is that okay? So right now I don't have the grid container inside a center container, right? Is that what I need to do? Oh, okay, yeah. So that does kind of work, right? All right. So, well, Google helping us out there, right? Is that so? The center container is okay. So yes, and then if the hatch button show, okay, yeah, that looks good, right? Okay, so we did that. Okay, so we did. All right. So now what else do we need to do? Let's go down our list. So okay, we changed it to 3 columns. We made our buttons less wide. We fixed the width height to kind of have not so much blank space on the button. Okay, right now, so that's fine. For the rest site display, we did center that a bit, right? So make it hidden. But okay, so now we're just implementing the actual hatch option, right? Okay, so it's hidden by default, and then so yeah, in Slay the Spire 2, this button only shows obviously if you have the Byrdonis Egg in your deck, right? So in here, so we'll just say if global.player. No, we can put that right here, right? Oh, and I still got this sort of weird kind of code going on here, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that should be fine though. We can leave it like that for now. All right, .deck. find card by ID, right? And then this will be Byrdonis Egg. So what do I have this doing right now? Okay, so it's null. It's a nullable thing that, okay, so if I go into a rest site, right? So if it's not null, so right now, yeah, so I guess we can just do it like that, right? And then we say hatch option. So let's put the hatch option there, right? Let's have a little thing here. So this will be called hatch option. All right, Byrdonis Egg. And then, yeah, hatch option dot show, right? And then hatch option dot rest site button press dot connect hatch, and then hatch option dot rest site, or no, dot set disabled false. Okay, so we'll do this sort of thing, right? And then, so right now we need a hatch function. Right now we don't actually have that, right? So, okay, so func hatch. Oh no, this is C#. Hold on. Yeah, we just need to do this. We'll put this there for now. Yeah, like that. Okay, so now we need to implement the, oh, so maybe I should have a helper function to just disable buttons, right? Yeah, let's do that. So this is getting a little out of hand. So right now, because before we only had the Smith and the rest, right? So we'll just, yeah. And then, so yeah, we'll also do this for the hatch button. Okay, so when we click one of the buttons, we disable the other buttons, at least for now, right? Because we haven't implemented miniature tent or anything like that. So, okay, we'll do this. So we'll, and then, so also when you rest, right? Oh, right now we're just hiding the thing. I mean, we could just do it that way for now, sure. No, Smith is different because when you go to the card upgrade screen, right? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we'll okay, so when we're doing the hatching, we can just treat it like the rest, I guess, in terms of the workflow. All right, so yeah, we'll do this, and then we'll do the things that to hatch the egg, right? So basically, you get the relic, right, and then yeah, and then the relic takes care of the rest the way we, yeah. So we need to have the path to the relic here, right? So we say const Byrdpip relic equals preload res relics event. No, Slay the Spire 2 event. Yeah, Byrdpip relic. Right, yeah. So we have it like that. And then when we added relics before, did we make deep copies or shallow copies? No, we just did. Oh, so we did call duplicate though. Okay, it's fine. So, all right. So we'll do that kind of, yeah, right here. And another thing we should probably do is in our Byrdpip relic, right, when we're getting the card, we should probably check to see that, you know, because what if you have a molten egg? We haven't actually added molten egg yet, but, you know, we probably should consider that, right? So, yeah, let's just handle that. So we'll just kind of do this sort of thing, right? Yeah, so we'll make a variable and then we'll check for the free upgrade. Yeah, so let's, okay. So this will be Byrd Swoop, right, equals Byrd Swoop dot duplicate true. And then we'll, Yeah. Okay. So when we have molten egg, that'll already be taken care of. So okay. Yeah. Let's do that. So okay, on rest site now you actually get the relic, right? So okay. And what else? So okay, when you pressed, oh, we also need to remove the Byrdonis Egg from your deck, right? So so maybe we should even in the rest site we save that as a variable, so we're not searching for the Byrdonis Egg again. Is that what we want to do? Okay, so let's do that. So we have var Byrdonis Egg equals null, right? And oh yeah, card. Yeah, so this returns a card, right? Yeah, so okay, so we have Byrdonis Egg. So we'll do Byrdonis Egg equals find card, right? And then if Byrdonis Egg, like that, right? And then if we hatch the egg, we need to remove remove the Byrdonis Egg from your deck, right? Move card, Byrdonis Egg, yeah, like that. Okay, so that should finish things up, right? So okay, so let's test this, right? So maybe we did a lot of stuff all at once, so probably maybe we might have made some mistakes, right? So first let's make sure we trigger the event. We can gain 7 HP from eating the egg, right? And then yeah, so I guess we just start testing. Okay. Okay, so I guess we just upgrade a card. So we need to find. Okay, so well, how many events do we actually have in the game? Are we gonna crash from lack of events if we take this path? Maybe I should just take this. Well, we might get non-events too. Well, right now we're just testing to see if we can gain the HP though, right? So, okay, let's just get rid of this fuzzy worm crawler and then try to find the Byrdonis Egg event and then. Okay, Jungle Maze Adventure, that doesn't help, right? Oh, Byrdonis Nest. Okay, so we need, oh, okay, so we did this thing, right? So we tested the thing that we can make sure that we can see this. Is that what it looks like? I mean, we don't care about the size for now, right? So, I mean, it's sort of, right? I mean, the proportions aren't, oh, we need a period after the unplayable, right? Yeah, okay, so we did mess up a little bit there. That's fine, though. Let's just make sure we can gain the HP, right? So, yeah. Okay, we're at 87 HP, so we don't have the Byrdonis Egg in our deck. So now let's restart. Let's fix the resource file on the Byrdonis Egg, like while we're at it. So when we go into the quest card, right, we have the Byrdonis Egg. So we'll add the period after unplayable. Sure. Okay. So now let's make sure that when we get the egg, right? Like we can actually get the egg and then hatch the egg, right? So yeah. Okay, so let's do that. So we need to get the event again. So okay, I guess I mean, is there a way that has more rest sites? Hold on. There's no rest sites on this path that we want. Oh, let's just restart. Hold on. Well, let's find a better path for testing. Okay, so let's upgrade a card again. Okay, how about this, right? So maybe we run into the event and then we get this rest site real quick. I mean, yeah, this looks good, right? So let's try to get to the Byrdonis Nest again, and then we'll see if we can hatch the. Okay, so this is a Realm of Chaos. That's not the Byrdonis event, but we can upgrade another card, sure. Okay, so let's do this. No, Jungle Maze Adventure. Unfortunately, we didn't get. Okay, well maybe we'll get it here. So, well, that's our updated thing. So the buttons looked really big there, right? Hold on, what happened here? Why are they so big? Are they supposed to be that big? Wait, what? I mean, are these filling up the whole container? Is that... Maybe we need to shrink the grid, right? if we, so we have this size, or I mean, did I just make the buttons that big? Is that also, whoops. No, these buttons are too big, right? So they're filling up the whole. So do we need to shrink this grid container to... So transform container. Oh, this is the container. Okay, so we need to... Okay, so we need to change this. Yeah, okay, we can do that the next run. Okay, so we need to have the container shrink, right? I mean, not expand the size of the children. Okay, so yeah. Okay, this is, yeah. So I don't think we should set these to fill. That's the problem, right? So basically in the container sizing. Yeah, okay, so yeah, well that's okay. We don't care about that for now. Let's just so we need to find the stupid egg, right? Yeah, and then we need to go hatch it. So let's go here. We gotta combat. Okay, now I mean we're not running into our event, right? So okay, maybe we'll get it, there. In the future, I probably need to come up with a more efficient way of testing, right? But for now, I guess this is okay. Maybe I should like put some cheating relics in my deck at the start just to make me be able to win fights faster. Okay, egg. No, we got the stupid shrine from original Slay the Spire. Okay, restart. So while we're restarting, let's fix these, right? So we don't want to do this sort of thing. So horizontal, yeah, we... Okay, so how do we want the parent to behave? Tell the parent container to shrink. Center the node. So shrink begin or shrink center, which one's? Okay, so I guess we want shrink center, right? And then vertical is shrink begin. And then so we'll do that for the, okay. So that should prevent our buttons from getting too big, right? Hold on, which I expanded too many things, so it's under layout. Container sizing, shrink center, shrink begin. Okay, like that. And then, I mean, we haven't even implemented all the, well, let's just fix them while we're at it. Okay, so we'll just, yeah. Okay, but now we do need to kind of... Okay, so I'll add some cheating to our run, right? So that way we can go through the fights faster and, find the stupid Byrdonis Nest again. Yeah, let me open... at the start of the game, we'll just put... So we'll go into our cheating section and then just, yeah, do some of that to make the testing a little bit faster. So we'll just give ourselves a bag of marbles and an Akabeko to start with, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll make the fights go faster. And then we just want to focus on testing the stupid Byrdonis Egg. We can even get a free relic from the Meow. Yeah, okay. And so we got the blood vial. Okay, so now we have, yeah, some stuff to help us go faster, right? And then, okay, so let's go this here. Hopefully we run into the Byrdonis Nest, and then hopefully we can, hatch the, yeah, with our little cheating, we can get rid of these fights more quickly, right? Aroma of Chaos. No, that's not what we wanted. No, Jungle Maze. Ah. Okay, so we go here. Let's just restart. And then, okay, we'll upgrade a card. Oh, okay, this path looks good, right? We've got a good chance of running into our event that we're trying to test here. All right, so with our Akabeko and Bag of Marbles cheating, we can get through this fight really quickly. We'll take Bully, I guess. Okay, Byrdonis, no. But yeah, because we cheated, we can get rid of these faster, right? Okay, Byrdonis Nest. Let's get the egg, right? So now, oh wait, did I actually make the hook up the button to actually take the card? Hold on, maybe I should check that. Yeah, we got it, right? Okay, so we'll take the egg. Okay, so now we have the egg in our deck. Okay, good. So now we go here, we want to hatch the egg, right? So we got to make sure that the button appears, and then, okay, there's our hatch. Uh-oh, this is still too big, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, these aren't normally that big, right? Maybe our shrinking thing didn't work. Hold on. It's not that important right now. I can figure that out before the next episode, but... So I didn't do anything weird. Oh no, I just have them that big, right? 390, is this? No, this is still bigger than... Is it? Or maybe I just have it this big, and yeah, this might just be my fault for setting the button size to be 390. That just might be too big. Because 3 button... Is that what happened? Oh, let me check the remote scene tree. Hold on. So right now... So this is 1370. Is that? Yeah, that's because of the space in between. And then this is control. Yeah, I might have just made them too. Maybe 390 is just too big. So why didn't I notice that before when I had them even bigger? Oh wait, size flags horizontal. Oh, is this the problem? So maybe here I need to go into the... Hold on. So maybe I need to do the same thing here for the rest side option. Okay, maybe I'll try that. Although this might just be too big also with the 390 by 250. Okay, not important for now though. Let's just hatch the thing, right? So okay, so what's supposed to happen is that I lose this, I get the relic, and then the relic gives me the Byrd Swoop, right? Yeah. Okay, so this... Uh-oh, the Byrd Swoop image is not there. Okay, so I need to fix that, right? And then the relic tooltip, that looks fine, right? And then I need to make sure that when the when he actually in battle, I see the Byrdpip image, right? So I go here. This is... Well, okay, I do get the Byrdpip, right? And then this is Lagavulin because I haven't actually added an elite from Slay the Spire 2 yet, right? But okay, so I just need to fix the image, and then yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so the Byrd Swoop image, I forgot to actually put that there, right? So yeah, the icon, assets, colorless. Okay, Byrd Swoop image, yeah, put that there. Okay, so yeah, and then so maybe I can just debug this rest site up by itself, right? Is that... Does this work? Oh no, because this stuff will just, okay, crash. I don't have it set up to do that right now. So why don't... Maybe I should just test that real quick though, just to see if like changing this to... Well, no, this container is... Yeah, okay, we'll do that. I mean, that's something that's not important. I could just try making it smaller too, and just... But yeah, I mean, right now, I think we are where we want to be at the end of this episode, right? Like, yeah, let me just test the rest site scene real quick. So, but the basic functionality of the, the Byrd Swoop, the Byrdpip relic, you know, the Byrdonis Egg is there, right? Hold on. But yeah, before the next episode, maybe I'll fix the rest site thing a little bit, and then you know it might just be I just need to make the numbers smaller, right? Maybe those numbers are just too big. Yeah. But yeah, I think we're good, right? Because we did basically get the Byrdonis Egg and Byrdonis Nest working, right? And then yeah, and until next time though, and then I'll do something about the size of these buttons to make them smaller, right? And then yeah, because it looks like in here they don't take up that much space, right? So I'll just make them a bit smaller. Okay, but yeah, until next time.